So now we come to the fun part, the desserts. We're going to make a traditional kheer, but in not so traditional way. So the things that we usually associate with kheer would be milk, sugar, ghee, maybe even mawa. So we're going to make a kheer with none of these three things. Okay. For a milk replacer, we're going to use coconut milk. Instead of coconut milk, you can use any other nut milk of your choice. Instead of rice, we're going to use lauki or dudhi. Instead of dudhi, as options, you can also use carrot. You can also use grain like rice or millet. They all turn out really nice because the main thing is if you sweeten it this way, then you use a nut milk, the flavor comes in, and anything that you add to the kheer just makes it really good. It's fairly simple. We first dry roast these two things, cashews and charoli. Charoli is usually used in dishes like basundi and it's very, very nutritious to have. So go ahead and roast these two in advance. And what we're going to do is we're going to slightly cook this a little before we add the nut milk to it. So let's start. So this will take a couple of minutes for the dudhi or the lauki bottle gourd to get cooked. We're only doing this so that the kheer has a more close to the real thing kind of a flavor, because a raw lauki I don't think many of us would like in a kheer. So we're just roasting this. Also understand, do not count this as a health food so to speak, because at the end of the day you're cooking it and it's just a replacer for the traditional rice. Because we will be cooking this directly on the flame, and ideally a dudhi would be great to eat in other forms also other than just a kheer. So as we know, bottle gourd is full of water. It's about 90% water, so it will just cook by itself. You don't need to add water to it for it to cook, and neither will it burn. While the lauki is cooking, just sharing with you, you can soak the saffron strands in coconut milk or whichever milk you're using, nut-based milk, so that the flavor comes out like this. We'll add it towards the end. We're using jaggery. We can also use date paste and raisins, and of course nut butter. In this, the coconut butter goes really well. And these are roasted almonds for the garnish, and elaichi powder, cardamom powder. So after about 3 or 4 minutes, the lauki is cooked enough, and we'll now add the jaggery powder, and the nut butter, and now we'll add the coconut milk. The coconut milk doesn't need to be added too much in advance because it tends to get curdled also, and it's honestly such a nice wholesome milk. We must avoid boiling it too much because it reduces the nutritive value. So we just give it one quick boil before we add all our various nuts and garnishes. So now that our coconut milk got a nice quick boil, we'll add the raisins, the charoli, the roasted cashews, kesar. Many people actually add the elaichi powder sometimes midway, and that actually reduces the flavor. So it's better to add the elaichi powder right at the end to keep the flavors intact. So I'm going to add that now. This is so healthy and so yummy that I wouldn't mind having this for breakfast or even serving it to my kids on a Sunday morning for a relaxed breakfast. Some roasted almonds, and as always, cover the dish so that the raisins, the nuts, all of them can get the flavors of the kheer. So our kheer has been transferred to a nice serving bowl, and just adding the garnishes, the roasted almonds. I'd saved some of the cashews, the roasted cashews, the elaichi powder. This is one thing when you add, it just transforms a dish. I wish you could smell it. And I'd saved some of the saffron milk. So enjoy this with your friends and family for a festive occasion, or just on a regular day, or sometimes even have it for breakfast.